to the Proud Boys like Trump, stand back and stand by. Oh, wait, that's right. Your leader went to prison. Anyway, all right. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Liberal Loudmouth. So today we're going to talk about the Civil War that's brewing, or at least the one that Texas wants you to think that they're about to do because, they need to posture politically so that they can, I assume, so that they can help Trump. They're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. And yes, the immigration issues that we're having are larger than we've seen before, but that's not Joe Biden's fault that there are more people trying to get into the U.S. currently than the previous few years. In fact, I would even argue that Republicans may be the cause for this increased migration of people fleeing their countries, because you've got all the time Republican congressmen and women coming out there. Oh my God, the borders are open. The borders are open. And if anybody from a South American country happens to see this and they see the border is open, the border is open? Is it really open? Well, then we're going to take our family and we're going to walk up there. That's what's happening. I think Republicans did it on purpose so that they could create this crisis that will feed their base and get their base so riled up and upset and excited that they'll go out and vote. We see this every time a Democrat is president. Every time a Democrat is president, all of a sudden they care about the migration. If a Republican's in office, you don't really hear anything about it, even though it still happens and has been happening for as long as I've been alive and even longer than that. So in the Supreme Court, they ruled in a 5-4 decision that Texas has to allow the federal agents from the government to go in there and do what they do because, and it's always been this way, they have authority over the federal border. It's always been that way. It's written into the Constitution. There's not really any contestation there about that topic. It's federal government deals with federal borders. I mean, come on. Everybody knows that, right? But Texas, they're like, you can't cut our razor wires that we put in the water that was killing people. You can't cut our razor wire that's there because somebody is tangled up in it and dying, which is what was happening. These people would try to crawl through this razor wire and get caught up in it. And the federal border agents would come in there and cut the wire to get these people out. Or what they would do is they'd have these mass amounts of people just on the other side of the water on American soil that they then had to process. And this is something a lot of people don't talk about. The U.S. is based on laws. The U.S. Border Patrol isn't a military, right? They're not there to prevent people from getting here. That's not their job. Their job is to enforce the laws. Once somebody steps foot on American soil, they then have constitutional rights. And one of those rights, sorry to tell you, Republicans, but one of those rights is the right to due process, which is why we have immigration courts. And now the issue is that there are so many of them, it's taking forever. And that was the same issue that Donald Trump had, right? It's just that he mistreated the people that were coming across, and he was separating families apart and then trafficking children all across the United States. And there are families that still don't know where their children are to this very day from Donald Trump's policies. But Republicans are like, well, we know they're still coming over here en masse. We know they're just flooding the border. But because Trump is mean to these people, we think he's doing a great job. Biden comes in and he keeps most of the same policies that Trump had, except he took a softer approach to how you treat those people. And all of a sudden, oh my God, he's treating them like humans? We can't have that. That's not right. So then Abbott comes out after the Supreme Court ruling and he says, basically, that the federal government isn't doing their job, and now we have a responsibility to deter the invasion. It's an invasion, which is interesting to me that he would claim that Joe Biden isn't actually stemming the flow of these people. And I say that's interesting because he's actually deported a higher percentage of those who made it across onto U.S. soil than Trump did. He has processed a higher percentage of illegal immigrants than Donald Trump has. He has spent more money on illegal immigration reform and border control than Donald Trump did. And in fact, the Congress right now is trying to work with Republicans to get more money into the Border Patrol because there are a lot of people at the border. And yes, it is kind of a border crisis. But the Republicans said no. Why would they say no while simultaneously claiming that, oh, Biden isn't doing anything? Why would they do that? Well, that's because they need this political football to rile up their base. And what better way than to say, y'all are about to have a civil war. We're about to have a civil war. Look at us. Look at me. I'm so manly. Look. Because these are the same type of people that on January 6th tried to overthrow the United States government and to stop the election. But this civil war talk, it's really ramping up, and they're sending troops out to the border. Let me just pull some of these things up, and we'll go over a little bit. Now, I want you to watch this video. I have to mute it, though, because there's music on there, and I don't want to deal with, copyright issues, whatever. I know that's ridiculous, but, yeah, just look at this. 20 miles long. These people are out there. Probably most of them are armed and ready to start killing people. And they think that, that they're in the right because Joe Biden. Look at this. This is Amarillo, Texas. Look at this craziness. These people are nuts. Okay, we get it. You don't want the brown people over there. And listen to this guy. This guy's actually funny. I'm going to turn this up. Let's hear it.
Y'all, I'm giving everybody a fair warning right now.
Yeah,
you might not like this video because I'm not gonna keep it classy.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
Okay, no more keeping it classy.
No more.
When it comes to Joe Biden and these Democrats.
Yeah.
You might not like my language, but I don't care because I'm letting you know now. So if you don't want to hear certain words, then you might as well go to the next video because you're not going to want to hear this one, okay?
Okay, get on with it.
Because it's 2024, and I made a promise to myself to not hold back.
Okay, this, I wanted to play that because of how ridiculous it is. He goes on for 34 seconds talking about how badass he is, and I just don't give a okay, dude, we get it. You could have spent maybe 5 seconds saying you don't care if the language is whatever. We get it.
I refuse to hold back, okay? So if I'm feeling a certain way, you're going to feel what I'm feeling,
all right.
Okay? If I have something to say, I am going to say it.
That's freedom
no
of
beating
speech.
around the bush. So let me say this. Fuck Joe Biden.
Okay.
Fuck you, Joe Biden, okay?
Oh.
Do y'all?
Oh, man. Boy, this guy's, he's so strong and, scary, and oh my goodness. He said something that a lot of other people have also said. That's so, controversial. All right, let's continue.
I do not understand what's going on right now. What this man is trying to allow. Joe Biden wants the state of Texas to stand down and let illegal immigrants come into this state. I live in Texas.
Except that's not true. That's not what Joe Biden is saying. Joe Biden is saying you can't prevent our federal agents from doing their job, which is at the border, which is what they're supposed to do and have always done. And you're like, think about the logic here. The federal government isn't doing anything to keep these illegals out. Well, we tried, but you wouldn't let us to the border. So we're trying to get over there, but you're blocking us with your state military. Yeah, but that's because you won't do the job. Well, if I don't get to go to the border, how am I supposed to do the job? Right? That doesn't make any sense. But, let's continue. Keep on screeching, buddy.
Joe Biden, you got the state of Texas fucked up. Don't mess with Texas.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
This guy is like a walking cliche. Don't mess with Texas. Oh, we've never heard that one before. All right, I'm going to speed it up.
Everybody know that. Don't mess with Texas, okay?
Okay, he sounds even funnier. Let's go 1.5. This guy sounds like a chipmunk as it is.
You want Texas to allow illegal immigrants to come into this country when they want, wherever,
Nope.
when they want?
Nope.
Are you out of your damn mind?
No.
You are supposed to be the president of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
No, he is the president of the United States of America, whatever your name is.
And your one and only job is to protect this country, to protect the American people.
Okay.
Letting them in this country without going through a process, you are trying to get us killed, Joe.
Without going through. Okay, I'm going to point this out again. The moment that somebody steps foot on American soil, they now have constitutional rights. Now, these people in Texas, they don't want them to, but the law doesn't give a shit. Facts don't care about your feelings, as these people would say. The moment they step foot on American soil, they automatically have constitutional rights to due process. That's why we have immigration courts. So he's talking about, you want them to come over here without being processed? No, once they make it here, then you have to process them. You have to. You can't. You don't just send them back, right? You don't just send them back. If somebody was breaking the law, you wouldn't say, go back to your house. Go back to your house. Or would you enforce it? You would enforce it. You would detain them. You would set them in the motion of the immigration process, which is you're going to go and get processed, and then you have to go in front of an immigration court. And then the United States taxpayers have to pay for immigration attorneys to then represent these people. And it is a long, arduous, expensive process that these people don't think about. So, all right, let's let Screechy continue.
Biden, you are just
Crocodile tears.
You won't. You literally had this go to the Supreme Court, and they ruled that you have the authority to tell Texas that they have to remove wires and remove protection from the border.
No. He's wrong there. Let me explain. No, they said that the federal government has the authority over the federal border, and they have to be allowed to go to the federal border because Texas was not allowing them to go to they were literally blocking them from getting to the border while also screaming, they're not doing anything to secure the border. This guy clearly doesn't understand what's happening here, but he likes to screech about it, which is his First Amendment right, and I'll protect that all day long. Anyway, let's go, Screechy.
So that illegals can come in whenever they want.
No, they can't. It's illegal.
You got everybody in America fucked up, Joe.
This guy looks pretty funny.
What are you thinking?
What are you
You
thinking?
are trying to start a civil war.
No, he's
That's
not.
what you're trying to start.
No. Let's go back over that. He's not trying to start a civil war. Literally, the fucking Supreme Court said, Texas, you can't do what you're doing. And Texas said, fuck you, we're going to. So who in this scenario? Was it the person that was granted relief from something that somebody else was doing, which is Joe Biden, or is it the person that is defying a Supreme Court order? Which one is the problem here? Regardless of how you feel about the border. I mean, think about that. Just logically. Don't use your emotions, use your logic. All right, Screechy, continue.
And I'm so thankful for the governor of Texas for refusing to allow these illegal immigrants to come into this country illegally. I'm glad he refused. He refused to follow this ruling.
You just admitted it, buddy. I mean, look at that. That Abbott agreed to not follow the rule of law. Whether you like it or not, the Supreme Court is the final say. I mean, that's what it says in the Constitution. That's what we've always done. And when you defy the Supreme Court, I mean, what is the enforcement mechanism? Well, it's the federal government. So when the federal government turns around and says, hey, what you're doing is illegal, we just had a court that ruled and said you can't do that, and you're still doing it, what happens there? I mean, now it may become a pissing contest. Like, no, we're just going to do what we want to do anyway. If a court says you have to do something and you don't do it, what would happen to you or I, right? Why does Texas get a pass? Because they want to label this as an invasion? Sorry, but the word invasion, when it was used in that context, was referring to us being attacked. Because let's face it, when the Constitution was written, what had just happened? Europeans had just invaded the country where indigenous people already were, right? So they didn't mind migration. And when they needed somebody to build the railroads, did they care that Chinese people were coming across? No. When they wanted more slaves, did they care that people were coming in boats, dragging these slaves off to get auctioned off like cattle? No. No, but somehow now it's just different. Okay. All right, Screechy, let's listen. This guy's entertaining to me, so I'm going to let him play out here.
I'm glad he didn't do that. I'm glad that the governor of Oklahoma decided to stand with Texas because I'm from Oklahoma, born and raised.
Right.
And now I live in the state of Texas.
No.
And you got everybody in the state of Texas all bent up.
All right, now I just want to point out that I feel like this guy has little man syndrome. I mean, his voice sounds like he never actually hit puberty. He's probably short, so this is his way of feeling like, I'm a badass, and I'm sure all the people in the comment section are, Trump would like you to have a civil war so he doesn't have to go to prison. Look at this. Look at this right here. These are the same people that did
multiple capital entries.
I mean, look at this. And then they tried to rewrite history by claiming that, it was all peaceful. It was peaceful, even though we all watched it on live TV unfolding in real time, like in the real world. It was peaceful. I mean, the Republicans here, the Texans and Republicans, are wanting the Civil War, not the Democrats. And look at this. This is what the razor wire did. This is why Joe Biden and the Border Patrol agents, in some instances, were cutting the wire. They have a duty to protect people, whether they're immigrants or not. Like, literally, that's their job as law enforcement. Border Patrol agents or law enforcement. Their job is to protect the immigrants that are coming across. That's why they're there. And once they're on U.S. soil, then they have, again, due process rights to a court, a trial, and then if deportation happens, it happens. If they get granted asylum, then they get granted asylum, but that's what the court figures out. That's how we do everything in this country. Texas refuses to comply. There we go. Let's see. I mean, look at this. Remember the Alamo. Hey, look at this. People are crazy. Like, this is happening like right now. It's so weird to me. And do I think that a civil war is imminent? I mean, it would take some kind of a spark, right? Because I don't think they really, really want a civil war. I think they want a civil war, but, I think they realize that in the back of their minds, they're probably like, I'm getting kind of nervous here because... Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. If you like this format, please let me know. And I'm going to try to keep pushing out some more content for you as we follow this crazy time that is the 2024 election cycle. It's going to be crazy. To the Proud Boys like Trump, stand back and stand by. Oh, wait. That's right. Your leader went to prison. Anyway, all right. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.